Good morning and good evening, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We have conducted two demos, and after that, this is the third class we are conducting. In the demo number one and demo number two, I clearly explained this is purely on the Power BI project. We are not going to be including either SSIS or SSAS or even SQL also. We are not going to be, implementing a lot, but the basic SQL we may implement or we may not be, able to implement SQL, but it is completely on the Power Query and data modeling and DAX, and we are going to be creating a lot of visualizations and data cleansing part will be there in this project. Okay, so that is what it's going to be done. So it is going to be taking minimum at least 20 hours minimum it'll take, but to implement each and every task you may need to put minimum 2 to 3 hours of effort. Clear? So the project itself may go up to 60 70 of hours effort from your side, but I'll be able to tell you the explanation and requirements. Based on the requirements, you have to create the solutions, and the next day you should be able to tell me or show me your solutions whether it is right or wrong. So I'll be able to give you the sample data and everything. You need to do the data collection and data cleansing, so data cleaning, data collection, data cleaning, and data modeling, and you're going to be, creating a lot of reports and validating the reports and deploying the reports and the dashboard to the, the Power BI app.powerbi.com. That is a portal. So these are the things that we're going to be implementing in this project, right? So now, as of now, what is that we discussed? So in this, we're going to be deploy. What is that we're going to be, doing? So these are the things we're going to be implementing, creating a dashboards and data modeling and everything. So already I spoken about understanding the project data in the previous first session, and the previous second session also I completely spoken about the data. What is the data I'm going to be giving? The data is completely educational data. It is our institutional data. Now our company wanted to do some kind of a requirement analysis, right? So what are the tables we got listed last time? We have a student master table, inquiry master table, follow-up master table, payment master table, and we have a batch master table, and faculty master and course master. These are the tables. That is what I discussed. But now you have to create a data modeling for this. Okay, so now you need to understand there is a student table. So I wanted to tell you how the the student table is used. So whenever you call us for the inquiry, for example, you wanted to join Power BI course with us, so you will be calling, right? So you will be calling, and we are going to be giving a student ID. This is a primary key. Inquiry date, so call date and your name and location, your phone number, alternate phone number, email ID will be captured, and are you from India or from other country, that will be captured, and you will be able to take a single course or multiple courses. This guy is asking for a single course, right? So this guy is asking for multiple courses: Power BI SQL, SSIS project, and SQL. So AWS DevOps, like that. One people will, some people will ask only one, but one guy can, ask for more and more inquiries. He'll ask for more and more queries. So we have created, one is a student master table. The second one is called inquiry master table. For example, Pratyusha is there. Her number is 1001, and she wanted to have two courses. So one student may have many inquiries. So you need to start understanding what are the tables that we have to create to store the data. So this is where the data modeling is going to be important. The first table is called student table, that I'm going to be taking. So in the student table, you're going to be having students data, right? Students data will be there. You need to understand the data modeling correctly. If you don't understand data modeling, then tomorrow creating a report or getting the proper visualization, or showing the data properly will not be very easy. It will be very difficult. Okay, so you need to know how the tables are linked and what are the tables, why these many tables are there, and what is the purpose of each table. You have to know. One is called students table. The next one I'm going to be talking about. So this is what is called data modeling, and you would have studied MySQL, videos, right? In that I would be talking about one to many relationship like that. So the first one is called student table. The second one I'm talking about, one student may inquire multiple courses. I have created, there is a table called inquiry master. So in the inquiry master, you will be able to write inquiry table or inquiry master table. For example, as I told you, so in this you have, if you take student table 1001, Pratyusha has asked for two courses. I cannot write the courses like this. I need to split these two into two inquiries. So I have to go and say, so 1001, if I have 1001 data, so I don't have it here, but if you have 1001 data, so I will create two inquiries. So for example, there is a 1007, and Rajkona Naresh from Andhra Pradesh. He wanted to have two courses. Now I cannot write the data like this. For each and every course, I need to create one inquiry so that I can easily track it. So I say 1007 on that day, he asked for Power BI course and he asked for the SQL course. If you ask for only one course, you will be able to have only one entry here. And for each and every inquiry, there is an inquiry ID. This is the primary key will be created. In this, there is a student ID that will be created. So you can understand what is the primary key in this table. Primary key is called student ID, right? So you have a lot of other data, student ID, right? You have student ID, student name, lot of other things are available. But what is the primary key in this? Inquiry master, you have inquiry ID, that is the primary key. Then student ID will be the foreign key here. So you will have one student will have, we can inquire for many course, and each inquiry will be done for that student only. So it is one to M relationship. When you have one to M relationship, you need to take the primary key of the first table. You need to have the primary key of the first table, so will be foreign key of the second table. So this will be the primary key here. You have a lot of other columns. But when you wanted to think about a relationship, you have to know what are the primary keys for each and every table, what are the foreign keys. You have a student ID over there. Student ID will be the primary key in this table. Student ID will be the foreign key. And you have a lot of other things are available. What is the primary key in this? There is a inquiry ID. Clear? So one student can go in for many inquiries. For example, I can ask for Java. So I can ask for .NET. I can ask for, Oracle. So I can call for many inquiries. For each and every inquiry, I will be able to write a inquiry master like that. So the data in the inquiry master, I have a student master and inquiry master. So what is the link between these two tables? That if you know it, you will be able to understand what is the primary key in this. The primary key will be the student ID, and the same thing will be the foreign key. Foreign key where you have a duplicate data. When you see 1007 is duplicated, but when you see here 1007 is a primary key, you cannot have duplicate data. Am I clear? So this is one to many relationship, and it is a primary key in this table. So primary key concept, foreign key concept, it belongs to SQL. But even though the data is coming from the Excel, you need to implement all the relationships, all the primary keys and foreign keys, so that you will be able to easily create lot of relationships, and you can easily do the data modeling. So what is the link between student master inquiry master? As I told you, this is one. And one inquiry for one, this guy is asked for example, this guy is asked for one PBA course live, and the inquiry ID is one. So what we normally do, we have a call center team. These people are going to be calling this guy. So inquiry ID one, how many times they may call? So for one inquiry, we may call multiple times. So our team is going to be making a lot of calls. There is a one more table, This table is called a follow-up table. So you need to understand how the link between this table and this table. I have one inquiry. uh, my call center team is there. So my call center team is going to be doing the follow-ups, right? So they'll be for, calling up and saying, we have a demo tomorrow, or we have, some offers tomorrow. You wanted to join, or you wanted to, buy the videos. They'll be calling and calling. So for one inquiry, our team is going to be making many calls. But one follow-up call will be for one inquiry. Okay. So remember, so it is also going to be having one to many relationship here, one to many here, and here also you will be able to have one to many relationship, right? So one inquiry will have many follow-ups. For example, you inquired for Power BI course, my team goes going to be calling multiple times, but so each call, each follow-up will be done by only for that follow-up, right? So it will be a one to many relationship. Again, inquiry ID is the primary key, and you will have a follow-up ID. So this will be the primary key, because every table will have a primary key. Follow by the primary key. And what will be the foreign key here? The foreign key will be inquiry ID. So inquiry will be ID the foreign key, and you have a lot of other details. So now if you know the primary key and foreign key concept, you will be able to easily understand. This is the primary key, and this is what is called a foreign key. Now this table and this table is linked, and you have inquiry table primary key, and this table is linked, and this is the primary key, and this will be the foreign key table. Foreign key means where you have lot of duplicated data. You have a lot of other things. In the inquiry master, you have inquiry ID. This is the primary key. Automatically numbers are generated, and student ID you have number, and when is this guy called, and what is the course you wanted to have, whether he needs live training or the video training. So a lot of other columns are available, and who called. So this Krishna took the call. So Krishna is the telecaller name or executive name, who has taken this call and entered the data. And how the call has been made means, the call has been made, we got a phone call from the customer, or we got a WhatsApp call, or we got a phone call, something like that. We are going to be, entering, and lot of other data we have it. But end of the day, what is important, what is the primary key and what is the foreign key, and what is the link between this table to this table, that you have to know. Apart from that, you have inquiry date, which course they wanted to have, what is the training type, all these details also need to be entered. So that is the later. So when you create a data modeling, you need to be having properly primary key and foreign key relationship, and remaining columns you can add them later. So there is a follow-up ID. This is what is called a primary key. You don't have any duplicates, but in inquiries you will be able to see a lot of duplicates data. So for this inquiry, this is a student ID. You need not give the student ID. If the inquiry ID is there, that is sufficient. So one inquiry, inquiry number one means this is a student 1001. So 1007 student is called Naresh. So in the table, so the student ID is not at all needed. We can just delete it. It is not needed. Only inquiry ID is needed. When you take the inquiry ID, when you go to inquiry master, inquiry number one, you will be able to get the student ID. With the help of a student ID, you will be able to get the student name and everything there. So this is how you have to connect. You need to do the reverse engineering and go back and collect the data. So if you don't understand the, clearly this, and tomorrow you don't know which table to join, how to get the data, how not to get the data, which table to link, what to link, you will not be able to understand. Whenever you join the company, it is very, very important that, so the company people are going to be giving you lot of KT sessions. Whenever they give you KT sessions, you need to study the architecture about the database. If you study the architecture about the database, because you don't know whether this table and this table is going to be one to m or many to many, that you are not very, very clear. But when you ask them, so what is the meaning of this table, what is the meaning of this table, what is the meaning of this table, at least they will have a lot of tables, but all 100 tables in meaning you need not know. But in your reporting, you may be using some 10-20 tables. So for example, if you open SQL Server or my SQL Server, or SSMS, so they may give you one table, or they may give you one data warehousing, right? So they have a lot of tables in that. So no, reporting system will take all the tables from the data warehousing. You will be able to take the data warehouse may have 100 tables, but out of 100 tables you will be taking some 10 tables or 5 tables. Using that, you will be able to creating a model. So for example, I take AdventureWorks data warehouse, or I will take AdventureWorks database. When you see, you have a lot of tables are available. See how many tables are available. So lot of tables are available, but in your reporting you don't use all the tables. So you are going to be using maximums and 10 tables or 5 tables only, or some 15 tables only. For example, you may use a store table, you may use order detail table, order header table, customer table, or you may use currency table, or you may use vendor table. So like that, we are going to be using only few location table, product table. Remaining table we don't use in the reporting. So in all reports we don't use remaining tables, but these tables are need to be there to run the business, to store the data. Reporting purpose we may not use all the tables. So you need to draw the data modeling. What is the link between this table to, for example, I have a product table, or I have a location table, product, price, product, description table, work order table. So like that, you have to understand it. You have to draw one, one by one, and you need to understand how they are linked. When you go to database diagrams here and create a new database diagram, you just draw few tables which you wanted to use it. For example, I wanted to use employee table. Take this. This is one table my report wanted to have. So when you see the report requirement, in that there is employee name. Employee name has to be there in the report. So employee name has to be there. Definitely it is not coming from the customer table, right? It is has to come from the employee table. So you have to drag and drop the table, and there has to be a customer table. You need to have it, and you wanted to have some kind of a product table. So how these tables are linked, that you need to understand, right? So and there is a sales table, sales territory table is there. And I have, I don't know whether I should use all the tables or not, but if I wanted to use all these tables, what are the links and how these tables are linked? Direct relationship or indirect relationship, or we need to have one-to-one relationship, one to many, many to many. Lot of things we need to understand. So need to, before creating a report, you need to understand the table structure, because this is where you will be able to understand the clear cut the databases and the structure and everything. So this will give you much more confidence tomorrow. For example, I wanted to get some data. You will be able to see A table and B table need to be joined, B and C need to be joined, C and A need to be joined. If we have that kind of a diagram, you draw the diagram with a pen and paper, with the tables and everything, and stick in front of your computer. So somewhere in your in your cabin, you should be able to draw this diagram, and you should be able to have that. So when you take this and when you close this, so these tables are completely not linked. This table and this table is linked, this table and this table is linked. That is how you will be able to understand it. Clear? So data modeling is very, very important. So not all the tables are needed, only few tables are needed. Now how those tables are needed and what are the columns it has, all these things you need to study. So I'm talking about these many tables: student master, inquiry master, follow-up master. In the follow-up, whether our team is going to be calling the students or not, because even though we have data, many people have inquired. Sometimes I'll get the feedback saying that, sir, nobody called me from your team. So last 1 week I have tried several. I have tried called many times, but I did not get not even one time. So if I get this kind of a question, what is the meaning? My team is not at all following. First, I wanted to say whether I wanted to see whether your student ID is existing or not, right? So that is what first I would like to see. You have been created with a student ID. Then after that, who is the guy who has entered your data? So I'll say this is the telecaller name who entered your data. His name is Krishna. Now I will be asking Krishna, what about this guy? This guy is inquired for one course. One course, his name is 1011, his name is Sachin, and I'll see that for the Sachin, is there an inquiry created, for 11 got created, and for the 1011, is there any follow-up done? So that I will be checking it here, right? So what is the number, inquiry number? So it is the 9 number, right? So this is the guy. I did not get any call. So one is for SQL, one is for this one. These inquiries I would like to verify whether inquiry number 9 and 10 been called or not. I will be able to see inquiry under 9. There is a Krishna has called, and he has he also informed on the second day. So when they have inquired, so when you see the date, when you see the date, this date is 2nd January, and this guy is called 2nd January. When you see the date, inquiry date and follow-up date is the same. So that means what? Immediately the reply has been made. So like that you will be able to understand when you have the proper relationships, where to go and how to get the data, because you don't have the follow-up ID, inquiry, and you don't have the student ID only. I will be able to get your email ID. With the email ID or your name, I will be able to search and get the this one. Using that, I will be able to follow up. So I will be able to see and understand how these are implemented. So this is how you need to understand students, or to inquiry to follow up. This is how it's going to be done. So now afterwards, there is a course master. As of now, these are the courses we have. These courses, as of now, nothing, linked to no table. It is independent table as of now. Afterwards, when you do the follow up and demos are done, so whenever there is a batch is starting, so the batch table, so Power BI new batch is going to be starting by Bhaskar and so date, and it is going to be starting date, ending date we cannot mention now, and what is the time. So what normally we do, so after the batch starts, the payments are going to come. When the payments are going to come, we have a payment ID and a voucher number, just like a primary key, and inquiry ID. Which inquiry number 45. When you go to inquiry number 45, so inquiry number 45 is this ID, right? So inquiry number 45. So this guy who's 45, 45 is 45 is 1013. 1013 means Pritham Verma. So this guy made the payment Pritham Verma. So it is Pranith Verma. Pranith Verma, sorry. This guy made the payment. So he joined for the SSIS videos, 5,000 rupees. He made no due amount, blah, blah, blah. So if you make the payment, the data will be collected here and everything we are going to be keeping it there. So we have to write. So for which inquiry ID the payment has been made. One more table I wanted to discuss. Lot of other tables are there. One more table I wanted to have in my diagram is called payment table. So this is what is called payment table. Payment table is directly linked to what? So payment table is directly linked to inquiry table. So there is an inquiry ID which is the primary key. For that inquiry ID, so whether this guy joined or not, we have a payment ID. So that will be the primary key. And we have inquiry ID. So this will be the foreign key. So you go, you will be able to get payment ID, and this is the primary key, and inquiry ID, this will be the foreign key. So inquiry table to inquiry, this one will be linked, and you will be able to have the primary key here, and you will be able to have the foreign key here. So for one inquiry you can have multiple payments, because you may give the payments three times. So you may make 5,000 first installment again for the same inquiry ID. You may make the second installment, third installment, like that. So one inquiry may have a lot of payments. If you see the relationship between this and this, so it is one to many again. So when you go and check between inquiry to this one, this will be one inquiry will have many payments, and one payment belong to that inquiry only. So that inquiry means, let me put somewhere one here. It will be also one to many. So here, wherever there is a one, that is called parent table. Parent table primary key will become a foreign key here. So inquiry ID, which is a primary key, it has come here as a foreign key, and lot of other data. What is the payment you made? When is the payment date? And how you made the payment? Phone pay, bank transfer, and which mode you paid. Sometimes people may buy cash or phone pay, or some people give the checks or the credit cards. So a lot of things will be there, all the things. And if it is a due amount, the due amount also we are going to be making. And so every time we are going to be starting a batch, there is one more table called a batch table. So batch means, so whenever you start a batch, batch ID will be there, that is the primary key. Okay, batch ID will be there, that is the primary key. And what is the batch start date? What is the details? Lot of other things are available. So in this, So in this, we are going to be using batch ID will be the primary key, right? So one batch will have many students. For example, I made the payment. If I made the payment means I may be joining in the March batch, or I may be joining in the February batch, or I may be joining in the January batch. That data will be available in one more table called a batch table. So what is the batch ID? It is continuous number of primary key. And what is the course in that batch? So course ID, course name or course ID, and who's the faculty, what is the batch start date, and what is the batch end date. For example, you made the payment for a course. So we are going to be writing, for example, you joined in this in the batch ID 2. That means you made the payment for this batch Snowflake and is done by Ravi Kiran. So I'll come to know how many people have joined for the batch number 1. So batch number 1 is second started and January, Power BA batch. So how many people have joined means I will be able to have the payment ID. Yeah, in the payment ID, there is a batch number we're going to be having. For example, if you buy any videos batch numbers will be null. Why? Because video you can buy anytime. You're not going to be in any batch, right? So you will be buying offer, Christmas offer we are giving sending, or Dasara offers, Ramzan offers. What is the offer in which you're buying? So you don't have any batch numbers for that. But when you join a any online batch, that batch number we're going to be writing here, batch number 1, batch number 2, batch number something like this. So when you have a batch number 1, you know that all these people have joined for the batch 1. So what is the batch 1? Batch 1 means Power BI. When it is started, this. So like that, I wanted to read out how many people have joined in the batch 1, how many people have joined for the batch 2, how many people have joined for the batch 3, blah blah blah, and how many people bought the videos, offer type is the Christmas. So lot of data it is going to be there. So this data will be part of the payment table, and payment ID, and payment ID voucher number. So this is the primary key, and that I'm going to be using, and that I can have it. So when you see the batch ID will be the primary key, and batch ID also will come here. So batch ID also will come here as one more foreign key in this table, right? So you will have a link between this table to this table. So this batch ID is going to be, primary key, and this batch ID will be the foreign key in this table, right? So in the payment table, you have one primary key, and inquiry is one more foreign key, batch ID is one more foreign key. So these are the 5 tables that I'm going to be using. So apart from that, slowly we'll increase some more tables. But as of now, you need to know the data modeling for this case study clearly. So what are the tables? We got it: student table, inquiry master table, follow-up master table, batch table, payments table. So most of the time, we are going to be performing the data analytics on the number data. Number data means where the number data is available. You can see wherever there is a number data. So number data means the payment on the paid amount and on the due amount columns. I don't have anything else, only paid amount and the due amount. In these two columns, we are going to be having the number data. So lot of data analytics is going to be done on this. So either what is the total fee collected for MSBI or Power BI, or what is the fee received in the month of January, or what is the fee received by the in Indian students or the foreigners, foreign sales, and what is the, what are the, sales happen to the videos, what is the live classes, payments, course wise, course training type wise, we need to have what is called as a total amounts, total discounts, or a total due amounts. Lot of things are going to be there, right? So all these things, the data analytics is going to be done on the numerical data. Especially we have two columns here: paid amount and the due amount. I don't have any discount column here, I don't have any tax column there. But if you have a tax column, column, discount amount, for example, the fees will be 30,000, but you paid only 20,000. So what is the discount? The discount will be 10,000. So what is the total discounts being given? So the data we are not capturing in this. If you don't capture the data, tomorrow you will not be able to gather, or you will not be able to create a requirement. But the customer says that I want to also have a discount, total discount given by, uh, you know, um, in this month or in this year, what is the total discounts being given, right? So if you wanted to have the data like that, means first you need to have the physical data in your payment sheet. Clear? So this table I'm going to be using students table, inquiry master table, follow up. Even the course master is there, I'm not going to be using this table as of now. And the payments table I'm going to be using. Faculty I'm not using as of now, but we'll use it later. And batch table I'm going to be using it. So later we can have one more table called expenses table. So the company not only will have the income but also expenses, right? The company will make, every monthly salaries for the employees of goonlinetrainings.com, right? So these things we can implement later. And every month the phone bills, current bills, and the travel expenses, expenditures like travels, accommodation, food, lot of things the company is going to be offering. So all this data will be going into the expenses table. So as of now, that is not there, but tomorrow we may include the expenses also. Expenses towards what? For example, faculty is teaching, so we need to make the faculty, remuneration. One batch is complete. For example, if you see the batch number AWS Sandhya madam has, started this batch, it is done. So we would have collected some revenue. Let us say we got some 30,000 or 1 lakh amount we got it. So we need to pay some amount, some 60 to 70% of the revenue has to be paid to the faculty. Remaining some 30% has to be, with the goonlinetrainings.com. So maximum amounts, will be going or will be paid to the, faculty fees and everything, right? So those kind of a things we need to include. And I wanted to have the expenses reports also, dashboards for the expenses, dashboards for the, payments, and dashboards for the lot of other things. They wanted to understand how the sales is happening month by month, how the sales is happening year by year. They wanted to understand how the follow-ups, happening, whether they are able to, call the, students and immediately, and is there any delay process, and how many per day each employee of Go Online Trainings, how many calls they are making, right? We got 200 inquiries, last month, or we got some 1,000 inquiries last month. Out of 1,000 inquiries, how many people have joined? How many people yet to join? How many people said they're not interested, like that? We are going to be analyzing the complete data, and we are going to be creating a lot of reports later. But if you wanted to create any reports, first you need to understanding this data modeling clearly. Here I have taken only 5 tables, but slowly we will be able to increase lot of, data here, and so that you will be able to modify the data modeling, and keep on updating it, and you will be able to, create lot of other reports as well later. But as of now, we are going to be dealing with this data. As of now, I'm not going to be using course master and faculty master. So these tables, student master, inquiry master, follow-up master, payment master, batch masters. Only 5 tables we're going to be having. Remember, you may have a bigger data warehouse. So bigger data warehouse may have, let us say, some 70 tables. So out of 70 tables, you never create any reports. So maximum we are going to be using, so 5 to 10 tables, and only these 2 10 tables you are going to be loading into where? To the Power BI. And you see how these 5 to 10 tables are linked, whether it's one to one, one to many, many to many, how these are linked, what is the primary key, what is the foreign key, blah, blah, blah. If you know clearly, then the data modeling part is done. Clear? So, as a technical person, what is the purpose of this table, or what is the purpose of this table, you don't understand until and unless you talk to the business user, or until and unless you talk to the senior developers in the project. So otherwise, you don't understand why these 2 tables are linked, why this table is independent, why this table is linked, and why this table is linked to something else. You don't understand. But end of the day, when you see the diagrams, you know that there is a primary key and foreign key. But how these are linked 1 to m, why it is 1 to m, if you wanted to understand, a technical guy cannot understand, why 1 to m, many to many. You need to understand the business. So you need to talk to the client. So client cannot, sit with you. End of the day, you're going to be sitting with your team. So the team members will be knowing how these tables are linked, and If they know the primary key and foreign key, creating a tables, joining the data will be very, very easy. Clear? So that is the reason before, joining anything, you have to know the proper primary key and foreign key concepts, proper data modeling has to be, learnt clearly, and later we can understand the requirement and we will be able to continue further. So did you understand? So what are the tables I'm going to be using? So as of now, I'm going to be using these tables only. So expenses table is not there, but I may use it later. So I want to update. So expenses master. Okay, so these tables are as of now not there. So this come later, but remaining tables are there. So these tables I'm going to be using it later, and I'm going to be creating a proper data modeling in the proper data modeling in the next session. Okay, so this is the database diagram that I have created. Now this database diagram, it is not very clean, but at least let me capture this database diagram so that I can have I can have it here. Okay. So this is the database diagram. I have to make it, but we will make it clean database diagram. Probably tomorrow I will make it, and I'll be able to show you the proper the diagram. So this is the good data modeling diagram I made up of these tables, and we may also include lot of tables later so that you will be able to have them here, and you can extend the diagram as well. So if you understand how the tables have been linked, what primary key, which primary key is linked, if you know this clearly, and in the Monday's class, we will understand what are the reporting requirements. Now I am able to understand their data. These are the data the company is giving it to me. Now I'm clear about this data. I have also seen the data modeling explained by someone else. Some senior member is going to be explaining, right? So you need to ask more and more question, how these tables are linked, and what is the why, what is the meaning of inquiry table, what is the meaning of student table. All these things you need to ask the questions and understand, take this diagram so that you have started the project, and you are also capable of understanding the project requirements and everything. Yeah, am I clear? So in Monday's class, tomorrow we don't have class. In Monday's class, we will understand what are the report requirements, what are the dashboard requirements. Go online trainings a team wanted to have. So we will talk to different people. So go online trainings will have a lot of people, right? So not only one guy. So go online trainings means you will have a CEO of the company. So he will have different requirements. There is a HR in the company. They will have different requirements, different reports. There is a call center team will be there. So call center team will be there. So they will have different data. They wanted to see different reports. There is a accounts team, account leads will be there, account head will be there. He wanted to see, there is a sales manager is going to be there, sales team will be there. So they wanted to have to see the different data, right? So CEO wanted to see the different data, HR manager wanted to see the different data, accounts manager wanted to see the different data, sales manager wanted to see the different data, call center means people are taking the calls, and they are giving you the complete data, and they wanted to see the complete data. And as a faculty, a lot of faculties are there, they wanted to see some kind of a report, right? So they wanted to see what is my revenue last 1 year, what is the revenue batch wise, what is the revenue month wise, what is the revenue course wise, so how many batches I have conducted so far, like that. Different people will have different types of the reports, right? So we need to understand who needs what, and what kind of a reports they wanted to understand, how they wanted to improve their sales, or how is that they needed to understand what are the issues are happening. For example, if you see the call center data, we have a lot of inquiries. We have 200 inquiries, but out of 200 inquiries, only 20 people are joining. So that means 180 people are not joining. Why 180 people are not joining? So how many? What is the percentage of conversion? If you create a report and give it to them, so they will be able to take the decisions and improve, right? So some end of the day, what is the revenue? That is one kind of a report. This is end report. So what is the sales happened in the month of March? That is end result. But during the process also, we wanted to we need to we want to understand this is what is our goal. The goal is we have to join at least 50 people, but how many people have joined? Only 20 people. So we have 200 inquiries, and the goal is target is 50 people has to join, because sales team will put lot of goals, right? So all these things we're going to be discussing. So sales team is saying at least 50 admission has to happen in the current month, but only 20 admissions have happened. So where is that we are going wrong? So how is that we need to increase? If I wanted to get 50 admissions, every week how many admissions have to happen? So first week 10 or 10 admissions, second week 10 admissions, like that, or 15 admissions. So if it is not happening, then definitely you cannot go to the last week and you cannot say the I did not achieve the goal. So you need to target week by week, day by day, how to monitor and how to increase the sales. Everything can come up when you create a proper report and understanding the data. Clear? So one is called, we are going to be seeing end users reports, and at the same time we are also understanding, we wanted to improve the each and every department, the performance, right? So we are going to be giving a lot of targets, we're going to be giving a lot of goals, and based on that they need to perform the a task, and whether able to perform the task or not, all these things we're going to be implementing, and we're going to be discussing. Clear, guys? So to, in Monday's class we'll be talking about project requirements, what kind of reports they wanted to have, and do they implement in existing reports. That is also you need to study, so that you can also implement those. They may have some Excel report, or they may have some SSRS reports, or they may have some reports manually created in PPT. So somewhere they are maintaining those kind of reports. All of them we need to study, and we need to create them in the documentation. So all these things we are going to be implementing one by one. If you understand the dashboard requirements and reporting requirements, then if you understand the existing reports and everything, existing KPIs and everything, then next one, we have the data, we have done the data modeling, the company management also given you what kind of a reports they wanted to make. If they have everything, so what is that we do? Once everything is ready, we are going to be getting the data, cleaning the data, and remove the blank values, assign the data types, and we are going to be creating a data set, perform ETL operations, and create what? A data set. Okay, perform ETL operations and create a data set. Data set means cleaned data. So you have to get the data. The data is available in Excel sheets. I will give you the data. You perform all these operations and you will be able to create a data set. So to create a data set, you need to understand the data, you need to understand the data modeling, you need to understand the report requirement also. So create the data set, and we are going to be deploying this data set to the Power BI. Deploy the data set to Power BI service, so that you can also use this data set, and you will be able to also create a lot of reports with the this data set, and these reports you should be able to publish to the app.powerbi.com. So that is how we're going to be doing. So let us concentrate only on the data preparation first. Data preparation phase, that is what we are going to be starting. So data preparation is going on. So that is what is called data engineering. Clear? So task number one, understand the project. And this is what is called, you can say, data preparation. Data preparation is going on for the project. So data preparation is the phase number one. And phase number two will be data preparation is called as a data engineering also. You need to know this. Data preparation, data engineering is the same thing. Okay, so this is what will complete. So once data preparation is done, data engineering is done, then we'll go to the phase number two. In the phase number one, what are the tasks? Understanding the project data, create a requirements, understanding the tables, and understanding the data modeling, and after that understanding the report requirements for the by the clients, and understanding existing reports and dashboard requirement, future report requirements, and after that you get the data, perform the ETL operations with the help of a Power Query, and you create a data set and deploy the data set till it will be a phase number one. So after this, we are going to be creating reports, then phase number 2 is going to be starting. Am I clear? So now phase number 1 task we are going to be doing. So what is happening now? Data preparation or data engineering. So get the data, clean the data, do the data modeling, and remove the blank values, unclean, unclean data, and all the data has to be cleaned and deploy the data set to the Power BI cloud. Why we are going to be deploying to the Power BI cloud? So that any developer from anywhere in the world, they can create lot of reports if the data is available in the cloud. If the data is available in your local machine, means only you can create a report, not me. So normally there are some 20-30 people are going to be there. So data set will be prepared first and data set will be deployed, and later all the team from Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, those people are going to be creating a lot of reports and publishing into the centralized folder. Clear? So we are now doing the phase number 1, understanding the data, understanding the what? Project data, understanding the tables and the data modeling part, then understanding the existing report requirements. Then we are going to be creating a ETL and Power Query, and we create a data set and deploy. So once we complete this, we'll go to the creation of dashboards, creating reports. Clear? Any questions? If you have it, you should be able to ask me so that I will be able to answer this to you. Okay.